Máy cho nó ấy là tí thấy mặt. Hi everybody, this is Hoàng Mai again. Welcome to my last video. In the third video, I already explained why you have a difficulty responding to what native speakers say to you. Before showing you how to think in English so that you can communicate more naturally and fluently, I would like you to watch a 1-minute video in which my foreign friends and I had a conversation about holiday and weather. Through this video, you will realize that communication in English is quite simple, not complicated as you think. With your range of 100,000 vocabulary, you can speak and understand more easily. Ngồi ở cái này gần đấy mà đeo kính thì nó sẽ right. Được chưa? I hope you enjoyed the story in the video. I hope you enjoyed the story in the video. Now I'm gonna show you how to think in English. What do I often do? Now I'm gonna show you the first step. Actually, I often think in individual English words. For example, when I wake up in the morning, think of words like bed, toothbrush, bathroom, eat, banana, or coffee. Then, when I go to work, I often think of words like a car, job, company, desk, or computer. During the day, I continue to think of individual English words for everything I see, hear, and do. I always try this exercise. Look around, I write now and think of all the English words I can. I'd imagine you can think of at least 10 words. Dán cái khác đi. The second step, I often think in complete. Chết cười. The second step, I often think in complete English sentences. I think in complete phrases and sentences during the day. When you're at lunch, think, I'm eating a sandwich. My friend is drinking soda. This restaurant is very good. Or when you are watching TV, think, that actor is very beautiful. The journalist has black hair. He's talking about politics. It's okay if the sentences are very simple. The most important part is to practice and develop the habit of thinking in complete sentences in English. The third step is functional English. On this level, you imagine having to use English for everything that you need to do. After every time you speak in your native language, think of how you would say that in English. For example, how would you buy a train ticket or order a drink in an English-speaking country? A round trip ticket to Central Station, please. Could I have a lemonade with no sugar? This helps develop your English for real-life situations, even though you are not thinking and not speaking. If during this exercise you don't know how to say something, check your dictionary later. If you do this kind of mental practice regularly, you will develop the ability to use English in any everyday situations. The fourth step is telling a story or speaking in English for a long time. It's best to do the exercise when you have some time, like when you're waiting in line or taking public transportation. Think of a memory or a story that you would like to tell an English-speaking friend. Then tell the story in your head in English. Because you are only thinking, not speaking. You can relax or do your best without all the pressure of a real conversation. You can learn to think in English. I hope you can see that you don't need to be super advanced to learn to think in English. You can start today. Try one of 4 levels. Thinking in individual words. Thinking in complete sentences. Functional English. And narrative English. Thinking in English is the biggest tip for increasing your fluency because it makes you more confident and helps you speak more easily without hesitation. Now, you already have a passion and purpose for learning English, and you are shown how to practice the right way. However, passion, purpose and practice enough to be successful? Tiếp. Do you know that 50% of English learners are not successful, not because they are not smart? The main reason is that they lack patience. This is the recipe I would like to share with you. Patience is the most essential ingredient on the road to success. Patience means that when you have to face challenges and difficulties, but we never give up. There is a very famous saying that be joyful in hope, patient in affliction. Từ này sai, chị đọc lại thôi luôn nhé.
Cả đầu từ đầu luôn.
Có tí mà. Xong rồi xuống dưới. Khiếp cái đoạn này dìm dai. Này phải ngồi xa, ngồi dựa đổi tông sang đây được đúng không? Không sao nó. Okay, do you know that 50% of English learners are not successful, not because they are not smart? The main reason is that they lack patience. And this is a recipe I would like to share with you. Patience is the most essential ingredient on the road to success. Patience means that when we have to face challenges and difficulties, but we never give up. There is a very famous saying that being joyful in hope, patient in affliction. Actually, like many, I was not always a patient person. But after that, I realized that patience is very important in learning a language because there are so many things that take time to develop for us to experience in a positive way. Of course, we want everything right here, right now, but that is not always the way it works. It takes time to build anything of any significance in life. A building, for example, cannot be sustainable and inhabitable without a lot of hard work put into constructing the foundation. If we were not patient with the building of the house and dedicated to it and believed that we could create it, it would have never been developed. So you can't expect to speak English well within a few days or a few weeks. The good things in life take time. Patience is the most important thing in life, in learning, in working, because life is not about living in the future or in the past. Life is about accepting the present moment. Patience is probably the biggest lesson for man to learn. But the most important thing here is that how can we train our patience?
Cái mic của chị để là cổ đi, đừng có lại cái tóc nó cọ vào cái mic.
Đúng. Nhìn thấy như thắt cổ.
Từ từ kéo dây xuống. Kéo dây
Tức là chón này nó ngược lên rồi.
kéo dây ngược lên.
Được chưa? But the most important thing here is that how can we train our patience? I want to show you some advice. Lại câu này nhé. But the most important thing here is that how can we train our patience? I'm going to give you some advice. Number one, keep trying until you get it right. The most important life lesson I learned was trying something 3 times, maybe even 4 times, before I stopped trying and moved on. Also, the experience taught me that even after multiple tries, I should work on different angles to approach things that are difficult. If I keep trying, I'll eventually get where I'm going. Number 2, the answer to your question is inside of you. A Chinese proverb says, teachers open the door, but you must enter by yourself. And a Chinese proverb says, teacher open the door, but you must enter by yourself. And an older saying goes like this, in making a 4-corner table, the teacher shows the student how to make 1 corner. It's the student's job to figure out how to make the other 3. I tell you my own story. I traveled to South Korea one time, and I found it fascinating how much you have to rely on your intuition when you don't speak the native language of a country. I remember one instance, I had trouble explaining to the cab driver where my hotel was, and he didn't speak English. So I had to get out of the cab and ask several people until I could find someone to tell the cab driver in Korean how to get to my hotel. In life, whenever we try new things, we have to go into new places with only a small amount of information. The real world doesn't give us all the answers. The greatest teacher is inside of us. Từ từ. Okay. Number 3, real wisdom in life comes from doing something and failing. Prior to starting meditation, I used to get upset when I'd try something and fail. I've been in sales since I was 16. I remember going to work and getting so angry with myself because I didn't get a sale. If I ever got rejected, I'd get upset with myself and I'd want to quit my job. But I just keep failing over and over until I became good at it. I remember when I first started doing meditation, I ran into several problems. For example, at first it was difficult to calm down, but if you stick with it, it gets easier and easier. I tried for only a few minutes and then every day I added more time onto my meditation. When we struggle, we learn about ourselves and what we need to do to become stronger. Number 4. Expect the unexpected. Yes, you have a plans, but things don't always work out as planned. Okay. Number 4, expect the unexpected. Yes, you have a plans, but things don't always work out as planned. Accept the twist and turns into life gracefully. Keep your expectation realistic. This applies not only to circumstances, but also the behavior of those around you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my 4P method. Actually, learning to speak English fluently is a difficult task. On top of all the tips I listed above, my final advice would be to practice as much as possible because really practice makes perfect. Good luck to everyone. Thanks for watching all my videos.